Well, hi, I've managed to get a moment where it's not actually raining, so that's fantastic. So I'm not here today to talk about weight loss, which is my normal kind of blogging subject. I'm actually here today to talk about dental phobia. Now, if you have a dental phobia and you want to be able to get through your appointments, now this is just what I do. Obviously, I'm not a dentist. I don't work with a dentist, so big disclaimer. It's just what I do to try and come to terms with my dental phobia. And I am now going to the dentist regularly, and dare I say it, having a good dental moment in my healthcare. So basically, this is a two-part video. The first part is about how it happened, a bit of a story time. So if you haven't watched that, I will link that below. But actually it's not going up till next week because I actually thought this was kind of the most important bit. So I had a look online. It said that 10 million people in the UK have dental anxiety or dental phobia. So I'm in good company. And if you're one of those 10 million people, then sometimes it's nice to just share ideas to see how you can kind of figure it out. So dental wise, I first make my appointment. The second thing I do is keep it, because my subconscious likes to play tricks on me and it makes me forget my appointment. It makes me remember my appointment a day later than it should have been. It allows me to completely forget the time of day that I'm in. I've been anything from an hour late to a day late for my appointments. I have lost dentists because I haven't been, I can't get the light right, because I haven't been to the dentist. And that has been a real issue over the years, but now slip-ups don't happen because I put it in my diary, I put it in my calendar, I put it on my fridge. I tell my husband and my dental surgery, ring me the night before, or they text me. And to be fair, that seems to have sorted out that little bit of an issue. So the other thing I do is I get quite frightened, and so before my dental appointment sometimes I end up changing my appointment because I come down with a cold, or I come down with flu, or I come down with cold sores, and I think I can't have my appointment this week. So I sometimes do that. Basically, ask your dentist whether he thinks he should be seeing you if you have a cough or a cold. So don't put it off, because they're not just there to look after your teeth. They're going to kind of look at your health above the collarbone anyway. So that's what they're going to do. My dentist gives me a good examination. He always examines my glands and things like that and asks me how I am. So the other thing that I do is I take a big button with me, something similar to this, and I call it my panic button. It fell off a coat some years ago. I keep it in my pocket, and then I attempt to try and roll it through my hands. So I give my hands something to do. I'm not the type of person who can manage having like an iPhone, my music on. I can't manage that. My dentist does have a TV screen on the ceiling, which is great, and he has the subtitles on, but actually I'm not watching the telly. What I'm doing is I'm taking each word and then I am spelling it both phonetically and normally. So say the word is house, so the word on the subtitles is house. I will be in my head, I will go H-O-U-S, H-O-U-S, and then if it's still there, I will try and read it backwards, because that is going to take you 3 to 5 seconds. Now, if you're a dental phobe, 3 to 5 seconds is a long time. And I just keep doing that all of the way through my assessment. When I can't talk, I occupy my mind. My dentist always says to me, if you're in pain, put your hand up. Now I can actually walk in, depends what you call pain or discomfort. I am already distinctly uncomfortable before I have even sat in that chair, which is why I only ever turn up to my appointment on time. I sit in the car outside until I am on time. I don't sit in the waiting room for ages. If the dentist is running behind, I always say, is the dentist running behind? Yes or no? How long by? I will go back and sit in my car for 5 minutes. In the days before mobile telephone calls, my dentist used to call the phone box outside when she was ready to see me, because it's the whole waiting room thing gets me. It just gets me. I can hear the noises, it's got a particular smell. I end up going to the toilet like 3 times in 10 minutes and I'm just a bundle of nerves. So when I walk in, I always like put my bag down, I take my coat off, I always have a conversation before I sit in the chair. So the dentist will say, what concerns have you got, or this is where we're up to, or I'll ask about my care plan. I'll say, right, so what are we doing today exactly? Just tell me, so I know exactly what's going on, so I'm really, really well informed. I've got a great dentist at the moment. He's absolutely fantastic. If you're in the Lancashire area, just look at the links below and you could join my dental practice. They are very good. Other things you could do is get a dentist who has linguistic programming in their training, because this was really helpful to me a few years ago. I really was having trouble and I was struggling. The last thing that I want to do is take medication from my doctor or from my dentist, because they can prescribe to, for my anxieties around dental. I want to drive to my appointments and I want to drive out of there and I want to be in charge, and the last thing I need is to be sedated, because that would drive me crazy. The whole problem that I've got is that people don't touch your head in general. You know, your lover touches your head, your hairdresser touches your head, and my hairdresser's my best friend and I don't like her touching my head. And then the final person who touches your head is your dentist. Okay, so I'm hoping that these little tips and tricks have helped you through. Thing is to really tell your dentist what it is you're frightened of. So my dentist knows that when it comes to cotton wool being anywhere near here, that's a big deal for me. I don't know why it's a big deal. It's not a deal breaker anymore. It used to be, but it is a big, big deal for me. I have to know it's coming. I can only have one roll in at a time, and it is like nails down a blackboard to me. It just drives me crazy. So hopefully it's there as little as possible, and it's only ever there if necessary. So I hope that some of these tips and tricks have helped you, and you will go in with your big button. If I haven't got a big button, I have like a 50p or something. You can use hand signals to your dentist to tell him that you're being really uncomfortable or you're in pain. But try and remember that most dentistry nowadays is comparatively painless, and you should always be informed about what's going on with you. So I really, really can't tell you enough. Go to your dentist and have that conversation with them about you being nervous. They're not going to be surprised by it. If there's 10 million of me knocking about the UK, then you can be one too. So I'm sure that there will be something that you can do to help alleviate your fears. I know some of my friends have had sedation. I know some of my friends use music to try and help. They use mindfulness. I've had people use hypnotherapy before, and that's great. That's great, that's for them, but this is what I do for my appointments. My next appointment now is not for 6 months, which is unheard of. And my last appointment, which was last week, went really well. I didn't have any pain. I was made to feel comfortable. I still felt sick. I think that's always going to happen, but I at least felt calm, and I was out of there. It was okay. It was good. So thanks very much for watching this. If you found it helpful, please give it a like. Please consider subscribing, because I will be putting on the story of my dental phobia, from which I feel that I am 90% recovered now, and I will be linking that probably in next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.